Hi there, good evening. Just wanted to quickly jump on. Many of you might be watching the Euros right now, which are just about to start, so I'm not going to keep anybody too long here. But I wanted to talk to you about the increasing amount of fraud that's going on, especially on the internet. And action fraud figures now show that investment fraud people lost on investment frauds over 650 million in 2020 as scammers preyed on the financial vulnerable, elderly people during the pandemic. These people are heartless. They would steal your grandmother's last penny. So just be careful. Now, a lot of people think, oh, these things don't work. You get these text messages and think, who would fall victim to this? But people do. As I said, 650 million, that's just in the UK. So you've got to, sometimes you just can lose track of things, and you just see a text message, you click on it, you answer it. It could be something saying you've had a parcel delivery, you've got to pay £1 or £2, and you phone this number, and then you get a message which you think is from your bank, and in fact it's not from your bank, and they're asking you for details. Then they say, well, ring this number and speak to your bank, so that, if you don't trust me, ring this number, but then you're ringing a number that's not your bank. There are all sorts of things going on. And then when you ring that number, then you give your account details out, and that's when the fraud have got everything. And then they can move amounts of money out of your bank. Once they've got all those details, they can just move money from your bank into theirs, and then the money's gone. Frauds can include things like share fraud, bonds, cryptocurrencies, commodities, wines, fine art, diamonds. And there's all sorts of things going on. But those sort of frauds I've just mentioned are scams where they're really trying to get your details so that they can basically steal your money. And people do lose money, even very sensible people, very clever people who just, for a moment switch off. So if you suspect anything like that, just hang up and ring you back. Remember, these numbers can look like the numbers from your bank, and text messages can look like they're coming from your bank. Emails can look like they're coming from your bank. So be very careful about replying to these things and clicking on things, and talk to your bank if you're in any doubt. But there are other types of fraud that are going on, and these are where you're scammed into buying shares or pieces of art or currencies, but by fraudsters, and particularly things where your money will just disappear. And the thing to look at here is, are these investments covered by the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority? And a lot of even genuine investments that are based offshore would not be covered under the compensation scheme that's run in the UK. So just be careful of that. So you might be in a legitimate fund, but that fund, if it goes down in value or you lose all your money, you're not going to be covered by the Financial Conduct Authority. So I'm putting a couple of links there below. Look at the FCA warning list website to see if the people you're talking to are on this warning list website, and then look also at the Financial Services Register to see that somebody that's given you advice is on that register. I'm not a registered financial advisor. I was a financial advisor for 25 years, so I don't give you direct financial advice. I don't say to you, look, you put your money into this pension scheme. So if you are taking advice from somebody on anything to do with money, do check the Financial Services Register. There are people who go around saying, look, here's my card, I'm registered, blah, 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 but they're not. So you can check all these things out on the Financial Services Register. Things are very open and transparent in the UK, so it's very easy to do that. You're also getting scams going on purporting to be from the HMRC, from the banks, from the police even. And I'm going to put a link up here and a number that you can report this to called Action Fraud, which is the police. Just on internet security, I was speaking to a cyber security expert today, and he said basically that there is no cyber security anymore. Your security is not guaranteed, and this backs up what the founder of McAfee, the antivirus software, says, is that no computer is safe. And so just be careful with how you store your most important records. And one of the best ways to keep a record of things is on paper, the old-fashioned paper, because then that it's very difficult to steal that, but you've got to have a backup as well. But when I was running in my previous business, we scanned a lot of records. We had a big machine, a big photocopier type scanning machine that you could put a wedge of documents in, like the size of a whole ream of paper, and it could go, and it would scan the whole lot very fast, or copy things. And it was great because it meant that we could have scanned PDF records, these PDFs that really annoy me, and you go back to some of these records a few years later and say, right, we need to pull out this person's copy of the passport. And quite often we'd find that the record's not there. It's just been corrupted, it's gone. And then what do you do? Well, luckily we kept paper files as well. So just be a little bit wary about that. And I don't trust some of these PDF files. I think the whole PDF system, I don't like PDFs in particular, but I certainly don't trust things like that. And your system can be hacked. I don't care what antivirus system you've got, it can be hacked. And as can governments. In Ireland recently, the whole of their health service was hacked. They had to close it down. So there's all sorts of attacks going on from other countries into the UK and all sorts of things going on. So just be careful on security and that, particularly on your computer. Yes, you can have antivirus security, but it doesn't stop everything. So some of the things you might be doing yourself. You might be clicking on something that takes you to a fraudulent website that then hacks into your system. Who knows? That's something you've just got to watch out for yourself. Now, if you find any of this useful, if you find my posts useful, then do share on social media. Do like the post so that it gives me more coverage and gives more people free advice. And follow me on social media. Now, as you know, I'm offering wealth coaching, wealth accelerator coaching calls. And the first call offer is free, so we can give you a good strategy as to where you might want to go with your wealth. This is for people who are serious about building their wealth, maybe becoming financially free over time. It's not some sort of get-rich-quick scheme. It's for people who want to gain financial freedom. Maybe you want to quit the rat race. Maybe you want to retire early, or maybe you just want to replace the income from your job with some form of passive income. So that you can maybe even cut down on your hours or quit your daytime job. We know that unless you have a passive income, you can never afford to stop work or ever retire. So it's very important. And I think a lot of people have lost faith in the pension system, the system that I was involved in when I was in financial services. The whole pension system that has just, I think, let people down. The whole industry has let people down. With the poor returns that they've achieved, with the high charges that they've charged, and often the poor advice that people have received. And the government haven't helped very much either with continuing tinkering with the legislation, putting up restrictions, putting up barriers, altering tax relief and all sorts of benefits. So a lot of people have lost trust with the whole pension. It's far too complicated for most people, to be frank. So some people now are doing other things. They're investing in themselves. They're looking for maybe into property, maybe into the stock market, maybe into their own business, maybe into online businesses. So that's what it's all about. I think a lot of people are effectively rowing their own boat and saying, right, I've got to make myself financially free and I cannot rely on the financial services industry to do that for me. I don't trust them anymore. And frankly, I don't blame you. So if you're looking for that kind of guidance, as I say, I'm not a financial advisor, and I've seen things from the inside of the financial services industry. I don't want to get back into it. So I'm not a financial advisor. So I can look at things from an overview and give you guidance on where you should go. So I'm offering a free strategy call. I call it my Wealth Accelerated Discovery Call. I can only offer 3 people. In the coming week, I can offer it to 3 people. So click on the link there and book your free strategy call, and we could be talking in no time if you are serious about improving your wealth, improving your financial situation over the coming years and becoming financially free. So thanks for listening and have a great evening. Enjoy the football. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.